Hi there, this is an unboxing of the Mixcder R9 Bluetooth headphones, and as I always say at the start of these type of videos, this product has been sent to me free of charge. I'm not paid to do this review, but I am sent the product to look at and review, so full disclosure at the start of the video. So these are a little bit different from the normal headphones that I do. All the headphones I've done in the past have been over the ear. These are more kind of sports headphones. They're a lot smaller as far as I know, and these have got some interesting specs actually, because they're Bluetooth, and they claim to be 8 hours. They claim to have 8 hours battery, which is pretty good for a small pair of headphones. If you think like they're only on a kind of band, and you know they've got a kind of necklace bit that goes around your neck, and then the headphones come off it. We'll see what they're like in a second. But they're also water resistant. They're also IPX5 water resistant, and IPX5 is not. Here we go. So they class it here as real sweat proof. But what they actually state is that these are IPX5. I'm going to have a look on here actually and see if I can find where it states that. So it doesn't actually state it on the box, but it is listed as them being. They are listed as being IPX5, and that's pretty good because you wouldn't want to submerge them in water for any period of time. But if you're going to get wet in the rain, if you're going to get, you know, a bucket of water chucked on you, they should be fine for that. So they'll be perfectly fine for sweat and all that kind of thing. That's the idea. So, you know, they're really minimalist, nothing to them. You know, this kind of neckband bit that goes around your neck, and the rest, the others are just standard headphones. But let's take a look inside the box. I have my usual knife here. Good. That keeps things nice and simple. And they come with a standard thank you and warranty thing, and also a travel bag. Not sure what's in there. I'll take a look in there in a second. Just a little pouch to put them in. And these are the headphones themselves. I'm really not used to doing these kind of like much lighter weight headphones. Doesn't seem to be much to them. Interesting, they're magnetic. Okay. Yeah, I was reading about that, the fact that they're magnetic. I suppose that is beneficial, isn't it? It stops them sort of dangling everywhere. Someone who does more running than I do will probably realise the benefit of having those magnetic. So that's it. And the thing, I was thinking, so these have an 8-hour battery life. You think to yourself, where's the battery? I mean, of course, you could have a little lithium polymer cell in here and a little one in here, but still, if I test these and they come to anything up to 8 hours, that's quite impressive. On the side here, you can see that we've got our plus and minus, and presumably your on-off, and then a charging socket in there. That is very nicely sneaked in there. Little micro USB. Let's have a look in the other bag that we have here and see what additional bits they come with. Okay, right, so we've got a bunch of other size, here we go, the actual rubber bits that go on the end of the headphones, a load of other sizes, because obviously one size does not fit all when it comes to these, and a key thing for sports type headphones is you want them to be able to stay in your ear, and that's always a problem for me. I would hate when you have long bits of wire hanging down, and so the idea that you've only got this much wire is clearly beneficial. And there's the standard micro USB charging cable. So that's all that comes in the box. There's no more to it than that. So let's test them out and see how they do. I figured that one thing that would be good to do quickly, just because these are very much aimed at people doing running and sport in general, is pair them to my Apple Watch and just see how straightforward that'd be. There's no reason, of course, why that would be any more difficult than anything else, but I just thought I'd do it just to kind of demonstrate how straightforward it is and how simple it can be. So yeah, so the standard pairing thing is you press and you hold this down past when it says power on, keep it pressed down and it goes into pairing mode. So I'm just going to do that now. So that's power on, and now that's pairing. So if I go to my watch and go into the settings, I should be able to... It showed them there for a second. Not paired. Okay, so let's pair these up. Cool, that's good. That was nice and easy. And let's go to my music. And please don't judge me on my music. I don't use Apple Music at all. So the only album I have is one that my son really liked just after he was born. He really liked Taylor Swift when he was 1 year old. I don't know if that's her kind of main audience, 1-year-olds. But so the only album I own is one that I downloaded at some point. So I'm just going to try that. And just see if that works okay. Because of course, if you have some music on your watch, you don't need to take your phone out with you. You know, with the Apple Watch Series 3, that's become a bit of a different thing now anyway, but there are a lot of people who don't own that. Yes, that's working fine. If I just hold that up to my lav mic for a split second. Right, not doing any more than that. Taylor Swift's dreadful with her copyright. So yeah. And that's all you need to do. You know, you can just go out with your watch and have your watch on your fitness stuff, and have these hooked up, chucked around your neck, and these will be good for, they claim, 8 hours. I'm really keen to test that, as I mentioned just before. Really keen to test the time on the battery, because 8 hours for that is brilliant. So yeah, so this is the R9, the Mixcder R9 headphones, and let's get on with the review. I'm a couple of weeks down the line now from when I did that unboxing video, and I've been using the Mixcder R9 headphones for a few weeks. I've used them out and about. I've used them in the office. I've used them sat at my desk and just one in my ear so I can hear things going on around me. You know, just general sort of use, nothing too intense. Not really. I haven't really gone into any massive amounts of sports use. But I will say that I mentioned in the unboxing I was going to give these to a friend to test. Well, forget that, because as soon as I put these on and heard what they sounded like, I thought, I'm going to carry on using these myself. Now, I just want to stress again at this stage in the video that I am not ever paid nor told what to say about a product by a company. These sound great. And I was absolutely, they're a complete dark horse. I mean, I was blown away by how good these headphones sound. They retail at £50. You can pick these up for about £15 or £16 on Amazon. Check the links in the description below. And the sound, I'll firstly talk about the sound quality. The sound is, it's very, very accurate. It's got really good sort of high end. The bass on it is great. The bass response, it's not that kind of bass response that a lot of people expect out of Beats headphones, where it's all kind of very boomy. There's a lot of too much bass and very boomy and really kind of just out of control. It just sounds horrible, in my opinion. It's the deep bass, the really nice deep bass, where you sort of almost think you turn around because you almost think there's like a lorry backing up down the road, you know, through that really deep sound that you get through your windows when there's a big vehicle backing up down the street. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully you do. It's that sort of bass. And I thought, when I first heard that, I thought, what I'm going to do is surely this is just because I've got them at a suitable volume or something. So I pushed up the volume a bit and had a listen to the same track. I was actually listening to London Grammar at the time, and Big Picture, I think it's called. And it has the sort of guitar at the start, and then it just comes in with a boom. And it was that track I was listening to where I noticed it, and it just sounded fantastic. Stereo imaging, and I don't really love talking about sound quality on headphones because it's so subjective, but the stereo imaging on these is great. It's really, really surprising because the headphones themselves are so comfortable and so lightweight that you have this round your neck, he says, trying to get around his neck. You have this round your neck, and once it's warmed up to the temperature of your skin, you don't even notice it. And of course, because the neckband supports the headphones, once they're sat in your ear, and these are the hooks that I've got on these, they come with a number of different sort of fittings you can put on there, but these are the sports kind of hooks, so they go in your ear and then they hook round into your ear, you know, the kind of thing. They're common on other headphones too. Once you've got those in place, they sit in your ear and they stay there, and they're so comfortable you don't even notice they're there. And because of that, the music itself becomes, it takes on a kind of new, far better accuracy, because you hear something in that sort of stereo image, maybe a piano playing sort of over here somewhere, and you get a real sense that that piano's there, because you're not sensing the fact you've got these headphones on your ears or something shoved into your ears. You can't feel the headphones at all, so it just sounds like the music's just there. And that, I don't know, for the price, these are amazing. And I hate to say it, but I've actually, just for convenience and size, I've actually stopped using my Sennheisers for the moment, and I've sat at work happily with these, using them day after day. So let's talk about battery life. Well, the battery life states 8 hours. I've been using these for about 7.5, 8 hours at work, continuously on. I've been trying to do that just to see how well they do. Okay, maybe turn them off for a short time here and there, but really 7, 8 hours. I had absolutely no problem getting 7 or 8 hours out of these. That wasn't at particularly high volume because, I don't want to just sit there blasting my head off when I'm sat at my desk at work, but they did a great job. I mean, all I would say in summary is that if you are after a pair of wireless headphones and you're not looking to spend a massive amount, or you've never tried wireless headphones before and you just want to try some, these are amazing. If you're after something to give somebody something for Christmas, you want to stick in like a stocking filler, these are absolutely perfect for that kind of thing. But would I rebuy these if I stood on them right now? I would. I would go out and I would buy my own pair, because I think these are fantastic value for money. They sound great, and I just want to stress, I would not say that unless it were true. So they're good as well because they're waterproof. I mean, they're supposedly got some kind of coating on which makes them waterproof, but I don't really care about that. I just think, are they waterproof or are they not? Well, should I risk going in the shower with these headphones on? Could do. Supposed to be able to stand a bit of rain. Right, well, yeah, so they're waterproof. Good. But what else can I say about them? So they've got the magnetic stuff there that holds them together. I found that to be quite handy, really, when you've got them over your head and stuff, just stops them from tangling up and keeps them sort of in one place as they sit around your neck. So as far as the bad points are concerned, because I think that's all pretty positive stuff so far, and I would definitely, wholeheartedly recommend that you try some of these, because you will not be disappointed. I almost will give you a guarantee that you will get these and you will not be disappointed, having spent maybe 20 quid on these headphones. But let's talk about the bad stuff, if there is much. I think the fact they've used this kind of cable here, they've used this flat stuff, and I'll try and show you that in a picture. I should a little bit better than I can on the camera here. They've used this flat cable. I would have preferred something. Let me just grab my Apple headphones, because these are actually horrible in comparison. These are the genuine Apple earbuds, and but they use a sort of sort of standard round cable. I prefer that. I would have liked these, I think, to have had a round cable. It's just a personal preference, really. I find this stuff gets a little bit it's a bit sort of, you can see it too much almost, I just would have preferred a round cable rather than a flat cable. There may be a reason why a flat cable has to be used, but I don't know what it is, or I just would prefer to see a nice round cable coming out of there. What about the ends here? The ends fit on fine. The buttons are nice to press. Okay, yeah, so this USB charging port, it's always a difficult thing to do. I used to work for a company who produced laptops that are used for like military purposes and things like that. And we always had to use port covers because they're obviously required, because you need ports on a computer, but you have to cover them to make them to prevent dust and water getting in. But it's always a weak spot. And this will work. It's no worse than any other port cover of this type. But I can see that maybe after a while that might get a bit kind of bent and might not be quite so tight and might not be quite so waterproof. And if it's a kind of one spot of weakness, I think, if water's going to get into that micro USB connector there. These take calls as well. I didn't mention that, did I? Yes, these do actually take calls. They have a microphone on. I think I probably mentioned that in the unboxing. I've forgotten what I said in that. They have a microphone on, which is just there. Can you see? No, you can't see that, can you? Maybe if I hold this closer. Yeah. So that's the microphone. And I wasn't expecting miracles because any Bluetooth headset that I've used, the problem with Bluetooth headsets is that the volume, your volume as a caller, is always much, much lower to someone who is on, just on a standard handset. And that's common for all these type of devices. So if you're talking on the handset like this, then your volume, if it goes into my sound card, I did a couple of recordings of it. If it goes into my sound card, that'll be about minus 12 dB. These are sort of down at minus 26, minus 28 dB. So considerably lower than somebody else, which that's not a problem really. If you're the only person on the phone. If you're on a conference call, it's a big problem because you've got other people who are much, much louder. Everyone adjusts their phones and the volumes on their phones for that person. And you've got that standard, yeah, we can't hear you there. Who's that really quiet in the background? So they're no good for that. But if it's just one-on-one, person will just push the earpiece, the volume of their earpiece up on the phone and it works okay. I thought, well, maybe they won't work so well with background noise, but I made a couple of calls walking up the street here. Busy street, buses, lorries going past, that kind of thing. And I was completely understandable. So no problems really, apart from the common problem with Bluetooth headsets that they're low volume. They are not aptX, and the type of Bluetooth they use means that you do get a certain amount of latency. So if you're watching video, it's fine. But it's not perfect. You will kind of notice a tiny bit of lip sync issues if you're watching video. So that could be a bit of a deal breaker for some people. It's not a big deal for me because it just doesn't bother me that much. The kind of times when I'm using a pair of headphones like this to watch video, I don't mind really if it's a lip sync's just a tiny bit out, as long as it's not massively out. And it isn't massive. It's not a massive amount, but it is noticeable. I specifically tested that and thought, yeah, you can see that. If they were lower latency sort of aptX headphones, it'd be better. But really, they are the only bad things that I can find on these headphones. So other than that, yeah, as I say, the buttons work really well. They're really positive. They're nicely spaced out and they click really nicely. You get some headphones where there's it's just a squidgy press and they're right next to each other and you can't feel. These, you can fit your 3 fingers across the buttons like that, each of your fingers on one of the buttons, and you can just sense exactly which one is which. Ideal. So overall, a wholehearted recommendation for the Mixcder R9 headphones. I am going to carry on using them and I'm going to enjoy using them. If you want to get a pair, go to the links in the description. Or if you just want to look at their website, I've put a link for their website as well. But thanks to the guys for sending me these. It's been a pleasure reviewing these. Not all products are a pleasure to review, to be honest, because some of them you want to use them and give them a fair chance, but they're actually not that great. These, totally different. Brilliant pair of headphones. Love them.